Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, YouTubers. This is Jerry Diamond with How to Get Out of Babylon. Flat Earth homeland. Hey, it's going to be a homeland for a lot of people. A lot of people coming here right now. More people are coming from California. They're going to have more resources, and that's one subject I want to deal with tonight, what to do with those resources. People that have monetary resources and are wondering what they can do to help out. I may address this more on a regular basis. Get going here. I could have looked this up, but I'm just going to throw it out here for now. I might do a little bit of brief review on it later on. S.P.I.K.E. S.P.I.K.E. That stands for Specially Prepared Individuals for Key Events. It was, in essence, the highest decorated officer during the Vietnam era, Lieutenant Colonel Bo Gritz. Whatever you think about it, if you know who he is and you have any opinions, I don't really care. That's not the subject of this. But he took the Special Forces training, Delta Force training, and revamped it for civilian training and trained 4,000 to 5,000 people across this nation. And one of the most interesting things that happened during that, the ones that I didn't go to very many of them, but I was able to go to a few. We would trade off between my wife and I. You could only afford one of us to go. And like she got to do anti-terrorist driving because it was also when they did triage, and I knew that I would, if they had any blood or anything like that, I would just pass out. So she had the medical bent, so she went to that. But she also got to do high-speed anti-terrorist driving, where you turn the car around, you know. Anyway, I was with my kids when we did a hostage rescue training. That was pretty awesome with paintballs. Pretty awesome setup. They did everything. I mean, how to pack meals, how to build greenhouses. I've talked about it before, off and on. But one of the, it was that one where they did the greenhouses and the hostage rescue HRT training. I just real quick. It was getting cold, really cold, and the paintballs were getting really hard. And the rules were, if you get shot, you go down. Well, toward the end of the day, we'd done quite a few of them, and this last one ended up being all kids. My daughter, oldest child, daughter Anna, was in on it. Well, they were kids, and the boys were having fun, and the balls were getting really hard, and so they shot her. They shot her, and she went down, and they kept shooting at her. So she came back up, and they're firing inside of a room at point blank, just pummeling each other. You weren't supposed to hit the face mask. Her face mask was like covered, splattered in, hit her face. One of her knuckles almost was broken. I never forget it. Big, huge purple welt. The finger was swollen up twice the size. Well, after that, then my son was ready to go. Ian, my oldest son, was ready to go point. Someone was going to blow the door, and he was going to be the first one in. And it started hailing, and so everybody went running in ahead of him. Oh my gosh, he was just, he didn't know what, they saw it coming. He was so focused on his job, that everybody ran in ahead of him. He goes, "Hey, you're getting in front of me. You're not supposed to, that's not the way it's supposed to work, So later it stopped, and Bo was walking across the field, and he put his arm around my son about, I don't know, about yay high. And Bo says, "Well, what'd you think of that?" "I didn't get it go in." Oh my gosh. Bo was like, "Sorry, So that's pretty cute. So anyway, just off the cuff, off the top of his head, it wasn't on the schedule, but he started talking about night vision, so I was going to touch on that. Just I'm not an expert. I mean, you can watch videos, you can learn what you want to learn, and some of you have already bought and stuff like that. But the thing that he keyed was, he said night vision is one of the most important things that you can possibly get. With his old, this is like Generation 1 stuff, Russian headset which is converted over to run on AA batteries instead of whatever Russian stuff they had. He could land and take off his plane as a pilot wearing that. Those had to be, they got to be one power, and they got to be, two of them binocular, so you have depth perception. But anyway, so he stressed, and it was just like from the heart, just talking about swimming the Mekong River in Vietnam, Cambodia, Vietnam, whatever. Stripped down, basically naked. The only thing he basically had of value was his, binoculars, his night vision. Absolutely critical. It is what is called a force multiplier. If everybody else is shooting a 22 and you got a 30-06, it's kind of a force multiplier. You're going to win, or you're going to have one massive edge on the competition, your opposition. If everybody else has a knife and you've got a spear, the old, you got to figure, you can understand where I'm coming from there. Night vision is one of those force multipliers by, light years. So if everybody else is wandering around in the dark, we saw it in Lights Out, the need for sights on guns, whether lit up battery powered sights or a glow in the dark type of a night sight. So, which is something I need to get back on. I need to get that done, and I got some of the paint, and I was meaning to do it, and it didn't quite get here in time for the end of that book, and I wanted to do it while we were reading the book, and it didn't work out. But I need to get my sights on a gun painted, 1 or 2 guns painted really quick, and get that done. So I apologize for, I didn't think of it until just now. So I got to looking at some of these, and now this one here, I'm just going to do a little bit of it because there's a bunch of really loud music playing, and then when it gets to this point, the music cuts out, and they're shooting a silenced weapon. Now, these things look like a cross between dingoes and hyenas. The muzzles are huge. It says coyotes, but they just don't look like coyotes to me. The muzzles are black, or at least a different color. Heat signature, maybe they're hotter, I don't know. But anyway, this is night vision, infrared. So I'm just going to play just a tad bit of this. A shout out to this channel. But you'll notice that these things just, they're taking their time with them, but they're just blowing them up, dead, Watch this one. Bam. All you hear there is a snick. So whatever silenced operation that guy's got going. In other words, them things wander around there in the dark, do not have a clue where the the shots are coming from. If they were, human, same difference, wouldn't make any difference unless you got night vision. So anyway, I just wanted to touch base on that. I know that there's, like I said, there are people coming in with resources, and this is something some of them, at least 2 of you have already covered. Good job. One coming in sometime in the near future wants to get this covered. So, but just look at some of them. There's some titles here. Just take a look at that. In fact, I got a line of them there, 4 of them. Watch 65's hogs down with the best thermal scope you've never heard of. LWTS. Watch wild boar hunting in Texas. 40 hogs down with the Armasight Zeus Thermal. Night vision pig hunting. 60 hogs down with Insight LWTS. White phosphorus something. That's Willie Peter in military. WP. Watch best thermal coyote hunting footage with the Trigicon IR infrared hunter Mark III 60 millimeter. Blah blah blah. So I would just, if you got resources and you haven't addressed this issue, please do so for your own, protection. Good way to protect your place at night. If you got, if you got visibility. I mean, if you're living in a jungle, yeah, not good. So, alrighty, and that's pretty much it. I just wanted to mention that and then just talk about it. It's something that I looked at this week, and like I said, I'm no expert, but you can watch these, do your own research, and probably a lot of you already have. But as with there's another one there. Watch 110 hogs down with where'd it go? Pulsar thermal scopes, Trail, Apex, and Helion. So, all right. So that's the idea. Buy the best, forget the rest. Buy the best you can. And even I've got you squeeze it. It's a piezoelectric. Don't use any batteries. Squeeze it, and it gives you night vision. But it's like Gen 1. It's really, really old. I mean, these things now with those scopes, I mean, oh my gosh, you can crystal clear, amazing how far they've come, and they're expensive, but you get what you pay for. So, alrighty, what is the value of the value of a thing is what that thing will bring. What it can do for you. I will say this. This is a good time to say this because I never did make this point. In Lights Out, okay, listen to me. In Lights Out, the one family comes up, okay, and they have night vision. They didn't see him till they're like 2 minutes out. Mark gets down there, and they talk, and they give him water or something. It's a dad, a wife, and I think there was a child. And this is Susan was saying, "Oh man, we could have taken him because all they had was No, wait a minute, that was a different one. Yeah, this wasn't the cowboy gun. The cowboy gun was a patrol one. The guy with the, cowboy gun, lever action. Okay. Now, I haven't said this. If I've said it before, if I haven't said it before, I'm going to say it right now. There's a cowboy shoot thing where they do 9 glass balls. They're in a wooden. I've talked about this before. I'm going to do it real quick here. Wooden frame with 9 holes in it, and there's glass globes in there. And they had a shoot-off between a kid, a 13-year-old, 11-year-old, 13-year-old kid, shooting a lever-action rifle like this guy had in Lights Out. And a guy with a fully automatic MAC-10 machine gun. The kid won because he shot accurately and he shot quickly. So he outshot, I kid you not, a full auto. Now, let's go to night vision. The scenario where they were at the gate and the family was coming by and they had night vision. Well, we knew you were there. We knew how many of you were there because we had night vision. Now, I made the point before about, Mark offering, they wanted somebody there that was of value. Well, of everybody that came by down the road, they should have begged that family to stay just for a couple. Take a break. We'll feed you. We'll clothe you. Give you water. Supply you. We'll take you as far as you can go. They should not have been allowed to go down the road. If they needed to really do some convincing of whatever kind, they should have been detained. I'm not saying at gunpoint, but they should have had them stay there for a while and hopefully got them to stay on permanently. That family with night vision, that's the only night vision in the entire story, and they just let it go blithely on down the road. Unbelievable. Inconceivable that happened. That the author, I mean, it's just a story, right? But that the author didn't go, hey man, we'll give you, what do you want to stay here? Granted, they're going on to see relatives or something, but that's an iffy deal, Hey, instead of letting them walk down the road in the middle of the night, they could have driven them down the road. So you stay with us for a week and we'll take you as far as we can possibly take you. Save you a lot of hassle. So that was a stupid part of that story from the author, whatever. So anyway, that's it. Long enough here. So this is Jerry Diamond. If you're listening to this, you are the remnant. I'm just going to throw it out there for, like I said, for people who have money, and I know there's people that do. Handle this, people. Handle it. Buy extras.